Oh, so close. Only an act of utter stupidity stands between this crim and freedom now. No, 47 seconds. And you get an extra 4 years added to your sentence for that outfit. Patience and plain stupidity. So when the bright sun's out, the bright ones are out too. That's all I'd like to see. First, less of shooting in the portrait, please. This is a just put some heavy music on the camera before. Or are they just playing with our minds? The gravitation. Filming. This guy doesn't like it. Full stop.
So. Were you gonna tell me more about it?
Now for a short camera broken intermission. Wait, what the hell just happened? 1 second he's having a go, next he's pinned. I'm guessing that fight didn't play out the way he was hoping.
You wanted him to fight you? You asked for him to fight you?
I can see a very slight weight discrepancy there. That probably went against him.
You were mad at him because he did a cannonball in a pool. A one cannonball. Chill out. We were quiet.
So now we get to the bottom of it. The guy on top did a cannonball. The guy on the bottom didn't like it. Nothing illegal here, but it's criminally poor maturity levels from both parties.
Your grandkids are gonna see this. Your wife is gonna see this. All your family's gonna see this.
And everyone watching Criminally Funny is gonna see it.
You should have put on a punch.
I think we have 2 enemies for life right here. Wait, what? He's taken another turn. And stop filming in portrait. Oh no, quick. Someone stop him. He's getting away with what is that? Is it some kind of Russian modern art? Or something from the Moscow branch of IKEA that you didn't get the flat pack instructions with? He's got one of them too. Look, whatever they are, they're getting away with them slowly. Somebody stop them before we never see those things again. Mirror, mirror on the car, who's the most unhinged, backpack crazy, psycho, scary woman on this stretch by far? Well, it's her, isn't it? It's clearly her. She really should be driving that digger instead. It's much more her kind of vehicle. All this happened because the lady in question took a dislike to the driver of this car. That's it. Perhaps she worked for a woman company and is driving up trade. Following on from classics like Neighbours and Sons and Daughters, it's the latest hit Australian soap opera to hit the world screens. Welcome to Boom Street. It's like an antisocial, sociopathic version of Home and Away, where the characters spend more time being put away than at home. In this episode, Lucas is treating his neighbours to a 2-hour demonstration of drifting. So the police turn up, as they always do just before the credits roll, and Lucas is back in Choky. The series lasted 3 episodes before every copy was burned. Finally, here we are on the mean streets of Mar-a-Lago in Florida, where life is cheap, but accommodation is massively overpriced. Each of these homes is worth upwards of $20 million. But once in a while, someone from nearby West Palm Beach gets onto the island. This guy on the bike only earns $4 million a year as a futures trader, and they're not having freeloaders like that on the Largo. That's what residents pay the police for. Alright, have you been paying attention? Do you think you could get to the bottom of a crime just from seeing its aftermath? Here come some crime scenes, but what caused them? This is either a really smoggy day or something untoward has happened in this front garden. Let's peruse the scene of the crime. What's that in the middle? It looks like something was sticking up out of a hole. Has a bomb been detonated? I can't see any potential crims, but maybe they were taken out in the blast. There's what appears to be the back of a truck here. Could that be the getaway vehicle? My head is starting to hurt, so let's go all Coldplay and take you back to the start. Ah, there's a bird on that feature. Is he the one with the explosives? Well, that's a resounding no. This was nothing more elaborate than an incredibly drunk driver who lost control of his car and went on to make a right mess of this garden. Both the bird and the driver flew the scene. Fortunately, though, the perp was picked up 2 blocks later. The bird is still wanted for questioning. When an offender risks their very liberty to carry out a crime, you think the outcome would be worth it. But, as you're about to see, some knuckleheads face high risk for very low reward. This bloke knew it was coming. The dreaded office secret Santa. Only this year, he only went and picked his boss out of the hat. Sure, it's meant to be secret, but what if the secret bit is that his boss secretly knows? He can't risk just giving them a box of bloody Quality Street, can he? So, nicking a laminator is the obvious solution. Everyone loves a good laminator. This was a good idea. This was definitely a good idea. Nobody spotted me. I'm off. Somebody spotted him. This wasn't such a good idea after all. So why is this woman attacking this Philippines police officer? And yes, he is a police officer, despite his uniform looking more like something the national cricket team might wear. I almost expected to have an advertising logo on the front and a big number on the back. But anyway, why is she going hell for leather at the law and trying to incapacitate him? Has he caught her with drugs in her vehicle? Is she the evil kingpin of a massive gang? Perhaps she's a hired assassin in the pay of a foreign government. It has to be pretty big to make her want to assault a police officer and have that added to her rap sheet. Well, it's none of these things. He's just caught her driving without a license, which would have been a fine, but now it's become way more serious. Driving without a license, direct assault, and resistance to person in authority. On the risk/reward scales, she scores pretty highly in the risk category. How annoying is it when you go out for a nice stroll with your cat and they decide to ruin it by attempting to rob a packet of tissues? How annoying is that always? Then not only do you have to spend ages apologising on behalf of the cat, but abject embarrassment means you can never return to the shop ever again. Most of us learn how to do forward rolls at primary school, but the guy in white has only just mastered it and wants the world to see how clever he is. Reward, showing a disinterested crowd your forward roll. Risk, getting pummeled into human jam for your trouble. Now, you may be thinking that guy in the middle is going to steal the moped. You can get a few quid for a sketchy moped. But no, in broad daylight and in front of multiple witnesses, he risks a slam-dunk jail sentence for the mirrors. You vain, conceited man. As we all know from basic mechanics, cars run on the internal combustion engine. But it's the internal combustion of the drivers we're looking at right now. It's a battleground out there. At last count, there were over 2 million takeaway delivery companies in Los Angeles alone. The roads no longer belong to ordinary drivers. It's like a post-apocalyptic gang war between Burger King bikers, McDonald's mopeds, donut drivers, curry Cadillacs and pizza Peugeots. At the time of the essence, these gangs would do anything to stop their rivals delivering first. In reality, this is an idiot driver whose antics could have resulted in a rather long stint behind bars for using their car as a weapon. Watch the bottom right for the definition of the phrase, "that was close." That was close to an accident of biblical proportions. In fact, the driver of the SUV was lucky to only have her bumper hanging off, and that's not a euphemism. Another criminally idiotic accident now. The driver of this car is 8 months pregnant. The driver of this car is probably 8 months old. Nothing else can explain it. Luckily, mother and baby were fine, but the other driver was put back in his cot with no milk that night. But obviously later he crawled out of that cot and ran this red light. Yes, that's him, officer. The one with the "only a baby on board" sticker. I don't care how old you are, fleeing the scene is a no. That's not rain, it's the tears of Lexus, the Greek god of driving, weeping over the amount of bad road work on display here. First, reversing into oncoming traffic on a bend. Nice. Next, driving too fast in a built-up area. On a bend, great. Then, driving away from the scene of an accident. Up on Mount Olympus, Lexus gets through a lot of tissues these days. But the other immortals do think he's milking it a bit, since being the god of driving was a bit of a short straw. Despite what it looks like, he's just one of those guys who get the lights to clean your windscreen.
No way.
Yes, way. He hates unclean windows, gets really angry with the dirt and tries to threaten it off.
No way.
Stop questioning me.
God, bro, drive.
Yeah, and why not insult the big man from the safety of your locked car as you're driving away?
You're a loser, bro.
Meanwhile in Chicago, the police have pulled over a member of an experimental jazz dance troupe who attempts to explain himself using the only medium he knows. Experimental jazz dance. This is powerful stuff and certainly going to give the police something to think about while they laugh him all the way into the nearest cell. Neither of these two alpha male drivers want to give way to the other, so the result ends up looking like an aggressive Land Cruiser mating ritual. It's obviously arousing the woman behind the camera, who keeps making this noise. She likes it. A lot. This accident, caused by criminally poor driving, is further to show that two objects cannot occupy the same space and time simultaneously. It's just basic physics. Basic physics that neither of these two drivers seems to have grasped. They're cars, for heaven's sake, not quantum particles. Little gag for all my friends at MIT there. Now for a change, the spotlight is on the do-gooders rather than the do-badders, as we salute those citizens who won't just stand by. London, and it's a big Bank Holiday Monday sale. Everything must go. They're literally throwing their products at you. Chairs, pallets, knives, cutlery. You'll need to bring more than a motorbike to carry it all. Even the police want a piece of these bargains. Okay, so this is actually alleged jewellery thieves who got 24-carat carnage when they attempted to rob a local store. Shopkeepers of the world unite indeed.
You ain't dumping anything here, mate.
I think they are.
Hey, what are you doing? What, from there?
How public spirited of them.
Where's the rubbish? No, this rubbish wasn't here.
Yeah? There? Where?
There was rubbish, right? That was there.
There, yes.
Look, by the tree. So if you come to pick up rubbish, you're going to pick up that stuff by the tree?
Hoisted by their own petard.
Listen, there was no rubbish here. We live here.
Boom! Beaten by the power of pure logic.
This was not here.
Bang! Another sucker punch.
Dude, it's not here. Well, you better be taking it. Well, what about the stuff over there then, if you're taking rubbish?
Whammo! On the ropes.
Nah, mate. Hey, this is down on the news, blood. Alright? I've got your registration. There's plenty of people that dumping. We're not stupid, you know.
You're not, but you are very
No, we're
clean.
not stupid. Do not come round there again.
I'm no motor mechanic, but something tells me he's only checked the tyre pressure on one side of his pickup. Oh look, here come the MOT police. That's definitely a fail. And if you look carefully, that policeman's actually getting a backie from a random passing biker. Now that's what I call assisting the police with their duties. Now get those tyres seen to. And this guy's helping the fire services by using that tried and tested flame retarding method of throwing your flip-flops at it. I know it's not a crime, but sometimes it's nice to show someone actually assisting the authorities. I've seen a lot of not-so-golden olders on this show, and I'm increasingly thinking care homes should have bars on the windows and locks on the doors for our protection, not theirs. This is Peter, choreographer and Imagineer of the Ukraine's premier experimental dance group Burn Sputnik Burn. This piece is called Collective Farming Ha! It starts with Peter confronting the small but paying audience with questions about communism's past and, perhaps, Peter posits wryly its future. I don't know about you, but I find this combination of animal athleticism and political polemic intensely arousing. After 2 hours, Peter begins the second movement. Another 3 hours and his dance of wheelbarrow begins. Dirty little walk there. I can barely watch, but watch I must. Now, smeared with the dirt of his homeland, peace begins the final and most confrontational part. A fellow member of the troop joins him, and together they ask some pretty difficult questions about masculinity. And so it begins. And so it ends. Well, if it isn't 1980s girls just want to have fun, pop star Cyndi Lauper, still having fun by the looks of things. These days she lives in a luxury apartment next to young whippersnapper pop star Justin Bieber. In actual fact, this is two warring neighbours. The lady has taken offence to this fence, which was erected without her permission. I'd advise her to speak to the local authorities before taking the law and that axe into her own hands. If that concrete pillar falls on him, this dispute might take a criminal turn. Okay, first things first. That black and white scarf tells us the only thing we need to know about this pensioner. Something this nasty little handbag thief should have considered. Yeah, she's a Newcastle United fan. You don't take nothing from a magpie. Nothing. As the police so often say in this show, stop, hold it right there. Yes, it's time for a break, but I'll leave you with this puzzler. What happens next? A quiet night and two members of Russian anarcho-feminist punk group Pussy Riot have broken into this quaint yard. There appears to be a giant